All right, it is 7 o'clock. It is the appointed time for our November legislative meeting. Let's rise, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a roll call, please.
President Dover.
Present.
Vice President Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Scholar. Present. Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Darrow. Solicitor Stone.
Here.
Manager Patterson. Here.
All right, before we get started with the agenda, we've decided that we're going to start announcing at the beginning of every meeting that these meetings are being recorded. So those of you who are in the audience, please be aware that these proceedings are being recorded. First thing on the agenda is a motion to approve the minutes of the workshop meeting of November 14th, 2016.
I move to approve the minutes of the workshop meeting of November 14th, 2016.
I second.
There's a motion and a second. Have I seen those?
They're in your packet. But everything came out this afternoon.
Do we have another packet?
Do you need one? You can have
Yeah,
mine.
you have,
Oh, I have two.
no, that's yours.
No, yeah, mine. She sent mine electronically.
Okay.
I didn't get to it.
Okay. No, I'm not worried.
Yeah, take
It's okay.
Harlan's. Take
Go
Harlan's.
ahead.
Is there a need for us to vote on the minutes tonight? Can we vote on them next month?
Sure.
I haven't reviewed them, so I'd like to review them before we vote on them. We don't have enough to approve them without.
You can table the motion.
You can table it or can't, they can vote on it, right?
Right.
Up to you.
Table it.
Table it.
We'll
All right.
We'll get everybody's input.
So let's put that on our old business for next month, please. Okay, then there is a motion to designate the Times and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette as official township newspapers.
I so move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Reports. Public safety.
That would be me.
That's you.
How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you, Chief?
Good, good.
Good.
Joanne? How are you? You all good there?
Yeah.
Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. Only police activity in Leopard Township for the month of October. Alarmed residents 3, alarmed business 4. Fraud case. This is a phone issue. One of the ones where they said that you want an $8 million prize if you send in X amount of dollars. And nothing was given to anybody, so that's a good one. This is listed as a mental health issue. It was a kind of a domestic that turned into an individual who was said to be contemplating bringing harm to himself, but everything worked out, and it just got a little carried away there for a while, but everything's fine. Suspicious persons. This is hunters in the woods. Suspicious circumstances. Individual on Redgate claimed that her fence was knocked down, but after further investigation, there was rotted posts and it just fell down. 2 domestics. Disabled vehicles. You pick up disabled vehicles on a portion of 79, so you get a few there. That team official was doing work, excavation work. They were parking on someone's property, and the person did not wish them to park on the property. 2 civil disputes. These were both formerly divorce related. Animal complaints. We have a missing cat. A woman on Rhodes Avenue claimed that 2 dogs followed her to her house, and they were now gone when the officer got there. Another animal complaint was an injured deer. And two traffic accidents. Repossessed vehicle. Assist Ambridge Police in looking for a vehicle that they thought was in our area, but it wasn't. This was helping the state police on 79. And a couple of 911 hang-ups calls that came out of Masonic Village. A welfare check. They got to the Masonic Village and the guy was laying in the grass. He said, I just come to visit somebody, but I'm all out of smoke, so I come out here. And he sat in the grass out this way and had a cigarette. People thought it was suspicious, and we checked it out. Several welfare checks. These are family members call when they don't hear from other family members, and it's usually the phone's not working or that they just didn't get with elderly people. So we get a lot of them up this way. And this person was they took an Uber home and hadn't heard from them. When we got there, knocked on the door, and they were fine. So, that's all I have. As far as your issue that you were talking about the other day, I put the speed sign on another place just recently. So just let me leave it there for a little bit, maybe a week or so, then I'll get it to the other place.
You're speaking of the speeding on Merriman Road that was discussed at our meeting last week?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get it there as soon as I can. And then we'll get some lines painted up there. And I did speak to someone from Masonic Village, asked them to pass a note on, however they do it, in email, how they do it up there, to request that the workers, upon leaving and coming and going, that they maintain their respect for the neighborhood and speed that. But we'll go ahead with what we're going to do with the speed sign.
And I can say that Commissioner Williams also sent an email to the executive director of Masonic, also asking him to remind the staff about this.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you
Anything
very
else?
much.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes.
Fire Department,
No report.
Emergency Management,
No.
Public Works.
Okay, so we completed the asphalt work on South McCoy and McCoy. Tim and Jim attended an MS4 class. And we cleaned up storm dervis. And right now, blowing these off township roads. South McCoy and McCoy, topsoil and seeded the areas that were asphalted. Swickley Ridge Drive, cut back brush along pond, cut back pine trees and painted lines. And we worked on the spreaders for trucks, get them ready.
Can you clarify MS4, please?
Stormwater management.
Good.
I think the brush that you cut back along the pond over there looks great. It makes a total difference over there.
I made a big difference too, cutting those branches off those pines going up Swickley Ridge connection.
Yeah, and I think the line looks good. So thanks for all that.
Agreed.
All right, thank you, sir. Communications, I don't have any report. Planning and zoning,
Nothing, no report, no meeting.
tax collector,
I have handed out Clay's report for you. And we're doing all right.
There you go.
That's the view from 20,000 feet.
Pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Year to date, we're only 9,000 short for our budget for the entire year of tax collection, so that's going to be made up in the earned income, so I think we're fine.
Good. Yeah, but
And just for the record, explain why the earned income tax is virtually a given.
Because it is now required to be withheld from pay versus, in the past, people could self-report, and now it's required to be withheld from paychecks. So we get almost a guaranteed.
And because it comes in on a monthly, regular basis, we can pretty much predict the last 2 months.
Yes.
Comes out of my paycheck.
Hallelujah. All right, is that your treasurer's report as well?
Yes,
Okay,
doing well.
glad to hear it. All right, under finance, we have a motion there. Anybody, an omnibus motion?
I make a motion to approve the October bill list for $56,132.87. To ratify October prepaid bills in the amount of $38,173.96. And to ratify October payroll transfers in the amount of $13,014.24.
Second,
There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you. There's another motion there.
Motion to donate $750 to Fern Hollow Nature Center.
Second,
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Now, I'd like to say something about this. This was discussed at our workshop meeting last week. We did this for the first time ever last year. And basically what it was a contribution to Fern Hollow Nature Center as a municipal sponsor. In exchange, in addition to being a sponsor, all of our residents get free admission to one of their events, the summer party or something. It's not the same as the music festival, which is their keystone or keynote event, but it's also a good event. And I think they told us last time that 22 residents or something,
20 families. I think.
20 families went. So I think it's money certainly well spent, if not just to support what's a great organization in Fern Hollow Nature Center, but to get people something that they're using. Anybody else have anything to say?
well, aside from that one event, there are many of Aleppo residents that used it for their dogs, for their kids, etc. So,
Sure.
agreed.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Aleppo Township Authority. Anybody?
All right. Is there anything that the two of you want to comment on?
I hear no report. QB Cog, I don't have a report. Art went to the meeting last week. I guess the only thing that's worth mentioning is that I sent you a flyer today in the,
Christmas.
did that go out already?
It
I didn't see that. Yeah,
The
Christmas party.
holiday invite?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't include you. I'm just.
That's probably why I didn't see it. Okay. So yeah, the Christmas invite, that I'll definitely be there. This could be the new dinner.
No, I won't do. Not the same.
Still fighting that battle, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, come on. You have to buy your own drinks. And
Oh, you have to buy your own drinks, that's for sure.
I don't drink.
Well, good. Then you won't have to buy yourself any drinks.
Where is this place? Is it on the wall?
It's right on 65. It's a little microbrewery.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I think it's been there for a couple of years.
It opened, it closed, it reopened. It's a gluten-free micro brewery.
That sounds horrible.
What the hell is that?
Whoa.
Make beer without having.
There are gluten-free beers, because I have friends that drink it.
It's right in the, you know where the dog stop is?
Yeah?
It's right in that same building.
Oh, okay. Right at the light there.
Mm-hmm. Right by Fru Plumbing. All right. Anything else on the COG? Ambulance Authority.
No report.
MS4.
I would like to second what Tom said, is that two of our guys, Tom was off, so he didn't go, but two of our guys went to an MS4 half-day training where they learned inspection techniques, and they got some instructions on what it is that the DEP is looking for their inspections, and some checklist worksheets for them to work from. So it was definitely beneficial training for the field work that goes with the MS4 program.
It's very exciting. Thank you.
Well, and then again, for the record, the purpose of the MS4 program is,
We have to monitor our stormwater, what goes into it and what comes out of the stormwater drains. So it's a big program that we have to meet a lot of requirements.
State mandated.
yes. It's a new regulation to pay careful attention to.
Yes.
And it's COG, it's.
The COG is helping with the public outreach portion of it, but that's one of the 6 sections, and we have to work on the actual monitoring and things like that, so.
It's very exciting.
That's good.
Dripping or clear?
All right, solicitor.
No report.
Anybody have any old business? Anybody have any new business? What's going on with our pension analysis?
I sent George something this afternoon.
Which was forwarded to our in-house expert.
Excellent. So that
We're on
was the analysis of one of the pension plans that one of the providers that could provide the pension plan in the new structure that we talked about. And then I'll be getting in contact with our current pension provider this week to see if they have comparable documents, to see if they can provide the same structure for us. So
Would this require resolution or anything if we change compensation structure? If we change the pension plan,
The whole thing?
perhaps?
Yeah.
Okay. So my anticipation is that during the budgeting analysis and the eventual budget approval, this issue will come to bear.
Okay.
And I think we can anticipate improvement.
Anything else on pension analysis? Industrial park occupancy. We were hoping to have a guest speaker tonight.
he, I got in touch with him, and he was unable to make it tonight, but he asked if he could attend the December 19th legislative meeting to come and give everyone an update on the state of the industrial park. So if that's okay, I'll put him on the agenda for that night.
Okay. Glen Mitchell Road cleanup.
I saw a pickup truck there tonight. About 4:30.
Taking or leaving?
I don't know, but it really looks awful now.
Yep.
Because the trees are. But they were pulled into the driveway.
Yeah, I've had 2 residents ask on the progress, and now that the leaves are down, they see no progress.
I mean, it looks bad with the leaves. I mean, with the leaves up, you don't see it.
So what would be our next step?
Well, how far, what have you done so far? Recap for me, because I'm.
Gwen?
Just, they keep.
It's mostly like Matt has been in contact with the board president of Swifty's board president. They went out. She went out for a site visit.
Yeah.
And then responded that they were working on it, like bringing in dumpsters.
And there was an original time frame, I thought.
Well, we're past the original time. We decided, I think, to say till December, right?
That's not the original time.
No,
That is
no,
the
that's
modified time
modified.
frame. Right. When I reached out to Susan, she wrote back to me, I guess this was in September, and said some dumpsters have come and gone. We have more scheduled in October and more in November. So the last word that we had on it was that we were going to wait and see what happened in October and November. Now, I spoke with Susan in passing last week, and she said something which, in fairness to her, I don't really remember what she said because it was not a very good time for me to talk to her. But in the abstract, I believe what she was saying is we continue to work on it.
There's a lot of work to do. I mean, and I was just driving, but from what I could see, there was a lot of work.
So your next step or the next option would be to cite them for a code violation under the Property Maintenance Act Code, which you have adopted. You can cite them, and then you'll go to the magistrate, or maybe you'll wind up downtown, and some judge is going to say, "Oh, are they working on it?" And you'll say, "Well, yeah, they're working on it," and he'll say, "Let them keep working on it." I mean, there's a tendency when there's code violations, the tendency of the magistrate and the judge, if someone is making a good faith effort, now is to allow them to continue making a good faith effort rather than to hit them with fines and penalties. So I think if they are in fact making progress, then my suggestion is you continue to work with them. If they are just flaunting you, this situation, and ignoring you completely, then it probably makes sense to cite them, at least get their attention.
Tom, did you go down and see it?
I'll just see it from the road. I haven't walked back.
Has anybody walked through it with them? Yeah. I would think that's the next thing we should do, is maybe have Susan meet with somebody and look at it and say what's been done and what are you going to do?
Well, it kind of sounds, if I'm hearing right, that they're getting dumpsters for other purposes and then filling them up with this, as opposed to dedicating dumpsters to this.
I don't know that I would
How
agree
you
with,
could do that.
Okay, I don't know.
that's not my understanding. I mean, I don't know that I had even made a distinction in my head, but I don't think that I had that opinion, no.
I mean, you can't. A dumpster's a dumpster. Once it's
No, I understand, but sometimes you get a dumpster for a specific purpose, and then in order to fill it up, you use it for other purposes. So are they getting dumpsters that are dedicated to this project, or are they filling up dumpsters that are dedicated to other projects? It's
Or
kind of irrelevant.
putting stuff in a pickup.
Would it be possible to record the progress by taking a picture every 2 weeks?
I know.
Yeah, who's the code enforcement officer? Jeff. Jeff could go down there and take a picture.
Now that it's visible from the street. you
I
can
think
stand on the
documenting
street.
progress-
You have to go, you can pull in the driveway.
I think because we said that prior, we were reluctant to go onto the property, but when the leaves came down, we would be able to see. We are now seeing. I think before we get into a debate about progress, if we had a photographic record,
I don't think you have to go open the gates. I think there's a little drive, if you just walk off the side of the road, you can see it.
Well, you know what they say, right? The eye cannot commit a trespass.
So I don't think he should open the gate.
No, right.
take a photograph.
That's something you learned in law school.
It's a pithy little phrase I learned in law school. Yeah.
Good.
And I would suggest one photograph a week for a month.
How often?
One a week for a month. And then we look at this and look at that. That determines progress.
I mean, there was a pickup truck there. What they were doing, I don't know. They weren't there when I came back. I just went down to the bank.
Okay. Anything else on the Glen Mitchell Road cleanup? So we'll have Jeff, is that, I guess what I'm trying to do is dictate to myself for our to-do list what our next item is. Our next item is that Jeff is going to go down and take one picture a week for the month between now and the December legislative meeting. Okay. With that in mind, I ran past old business. I didn't have the workflow list up when, but we had on the workflow list discussing the Siler grading project.
I sent an email to Earl just asking for an update, and he sent back a very detailed description of what's happened so far and what is going to happen. Probably the biggest thing is backfilling work on the drainage channel has been suspended until dry weather in the spring. In addition, he needs 1,500 cubic yards of fill, and he only has about 20% on the site due to high moisture content. And in addition to compaction problems, it's difficult to control mud from the trucks in late fall, early winter. Except for some stump removal, the drainage channel has not been disturbed and should therefore not create any environmental problems over the winter months. He expects it to resume in May and be completed by the end of June. And the conversation about the catch basins is he doesn't expect to pave around them, but they will put filter stock around them until vegetation is established that would absorb the water and dirt going to them. So he's
Okay, so let me just back out and make sure that we understand where we are. At the last meeting, there were two questions that were raised about the Siler grading project. The first question was, do we have an end date? And I think it sounds to me as if the answer is the end date hopefully is May or June.
June, yeah.
Okay. The second question that was asked last week was whether there was a plan to pave around the catch basin.
Yes.
And so the answer to that is
No, he's not planning to pave around the catch basins, but he will put some kind of a silt sock, which is a drainage thing, inside the catch basin until vegetation is established around it so that there's grass and everything, so it's not just dirt running down. So he has a plan for both things.
good. And does that qualify for MS4 attention that we talked about that?
It does, especially with the silt sock in there, that's a positive thing.
Great. Any other questions with respect to Siler? Okay. And then industrial park we already talked about. All right, anybody else have any old business or action items, things they want to talk about? Once, twice, so. Citizen participation. We have two new faces in our audience today. Y'all have anything you want to say?
No report.
Well, thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here.
Matt, you got Chief Ford? Just Chief Ford can put that to
Oh, I didn't.
And he's the resident with the easement for the Ferndale situation from last week.
They were our last meeting.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, gotcha. Right.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming back.
All right. Anything else? We're adjourned.